down the aisle segments. So I was thinking of what Adam said yesterday about down the aisle. And I think he might have. I've just been thinking, how can I need to connect with the, I know I connect with the customers because I get calls all the time from customers that just love my videos. But I'm just, we're not hitting the million views, which I don't think. Okay, so the live stream, we only get 25 people, maybe max, watch the live stream, which, I understand that. It's the long-term videos, that people are watching, that we're getting 600, 700, 1,000, 1,200. And so I just thought, you know what, I'll try this, try a new format. And we're going to call it what?
Are you going to tell them that it's going to be lots of fireworks tonight? Watching us try to set this thing up?
Well, now, there's not going to be any fireworks, okay? We're just going to set the thing up. There's not going to be any. I'm done with confrontation. I'm probably at the lowest level I can possibly be in the way of confrontation. I'm at the point of I don't care anymore. I literally am.
Well, I'm not saying we're going to get mad at each other. We're going to get frustrated.
No. Everything's going to be fine. I'm going to start taking the Tim approach. Everything's going to be fine.
Well, that's a good approach.
There. How do you like that?
But you wanted to do it later. Why don't we just do it at 5 or 6 or something? Like right after.
See, you don't want to work late.
Oh, you have the meeting.
I have this.
What time's the meeting?
At 7 o'clock.
At 7.
And it won't give us time.
Well, 5 to.
It won't give us time.
You think it'll take longer than 2 hours?
We can't be bound by time. We have to be open. See, he doesn't want to work late.
No, I have to drive home.
I'm
30 minutes away.
Oh my gosh. You know what? If he understood, see, and he was too young because I would have to drive him to Columbus every Wednesday, and he was a year old, 2 years old. Yeah. And he doesn't remember those. Yeah, he was just a baby. He doesn't remember being in the car for 2 hours every Wednesday, going down to have to drive to Columbus every Wednesday to get my comic books. Okay. He's not committed. I'm just more convinced he's not committed. He's a millennial. All right, can I get into my video or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just trying to work that out.
No, I am. I did. I worked it out. You'll have things kind of set up by the time I get there at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, but then it's 8, 9.
Yeah, 9, 10 o'clock. It might be 10 o'clock till we're done. Do you have a problem with that?
I'll be getting tired. I get up every morning at 6. Come 10 o'clock, I'm like this. I'm like this. I'm old now.
Oh, I don't want to hear it. I know. It's going to set in a couple years. I don't think you're going to have the stamina that I've got. That's for sure. That's just my opinion. So, I got to keep water in my mouth. So, today we're going to just kind of go in 3 different places. We're going to start right here. And then I'm going to go over to the model aisle. And then I'm going to go to the gun aisle. Just to kind of give people an overview of what we have and, why get into these hobbies and the funness of it. So we're down what we call the AFX. Oh, no, this is the Auto World Tyco aisle. And this is all the Tyco. Now, Tyco was the main competitor of Tyco was the main competitor of Aurora back in the 60s. They were the opposite of Tyco. I mean, of Aurora. You had Aurora, and then you had Tyco. And then Tyco was bought out by Mattel in about, I think, 1990. 1990. Yeah, because to Tyco Industries, Mount Laurel, New Jersey, that was Mattel. Or maybe it was not. No, that was 96. Let's see here. Tyco Industries. No, they don't have Mattel on it yet. Yeah, 1997 is when I think they officially took over Tyco, because here's a Tyco packaging. It says 1997 Mattel Incorporated, and this one here is 1996, and it was Tyco Industries, but it doesn't have Mattel on it yet, because they came out with this car. Yeah, Mattel. I want to get a couple cars here so I can show you. Yeah, 1990. So basically, they came out with a lot of NASCARs because obviously Mattel had a lot of licensing. So they were able to negotiate a good deal with Mattel because they call it Mattel Wheels, and then Hot Wheels, and then they came out with the Hot Wheel car. So this is another one right here. And this was all 1998. So in 1998, okay, so that was my first official year with Irwin Toy. And Bob Haynes with REH. And I think 1998 or 1999 is when he then bought, then Mattel approached Bob Haynes and said, hey, because Mattel was doing like $9 million a year with slot cars, and it wasn't enough. Okay. They didn't have enough, they didn't think that was enough sales, 9 million. I mean, they were doing $5 or $6 million in Total Control Racing, and they thought, well, we don't want to do that anymore. What I think it was is that they had a lot of returns, and they just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And so they dropped the line in basically 2000. You could say 2000 is when they just quit making Mattel, just quit making slot cars completely. They just dropped the entire line. They sold off all their inventory, and they sold it all off to Bob Haynes. Bob Haynes bought of REH. Bob Haynes bought, you could say 1 million cars. See, Bob Haynes was really the king. He's the guy that started everything back in the 60s. You know, he was old enough that he really was buying everything. He bought all of Tyco. He bought all of Lifelike. He bought all of, and people knew that. People knew that if they went to Bob, he'd just buy it all. And that's what he did. And that's why these cars are still available, because Bob Haynes, has, now Bob Haynes passed away about 3 years ago in 2016, or wait a minute, it was 2017 or 18. And his daughter continues the company her name is Kim Fields, and she has REH distributing, and that they distribute just to hobby stores like me and all that. And I have a lot of her product. We've got a lot of her products. And then Lifelike was made by Lifelike, and then they sold out to Walthers, and then Walthers had it for a long time. Then they just dropped it too. But Lifelike was basically a railroad company. I remember buying lifelike stuff back in the 70s, lights and, train lights and signs and all that kind of stuff. And, and they were really big into trains, lifelike trains. Now, they were very low end trains. They weren't high end trains. I mean, they weren't very high quality. It was very low end, you know, entry level trains, just fun sets for Christmas. And then they got into slot cars in the mid 90s, early 90s, I think. I got to keep putting my glasses on. I probably should just keep them on. 19 doesn't say what year, but I think it's 96. And they came out with a lot of cars too. Now we have, I might have 20 different lifelike cars, and all you have to do is go on to our website, type in lifelike, and you'll see all the lifelike cars. And then, Tyco, we have over, I think maybe 50 different Tyco cars that are available. And Tyco started. Tyco started with HP7, and then they went with 440 and then 440X2. They kept evolving until they came out with this tagline right here, Magnum. This is what I always find funny. Magnum 440X2, up to 26% faster over 1,000 scale miles per hour. Wow, what car goes 1,000 miles an hour? They don't. But that's what their tagline is, what their cars were. Up to 26% faster over 1,000 scale miles an hour. And that's what killed it. Here's another one by electric cars, fast trackers, up to 1,000 scale miles per hour. So they had to follow suit. Then they had super trackers. I don't know if I have any of them. Yeah, right here. Fast trackers. This is fast tracker trucks with Max Track technology. Oh, wow. Max Track technology. And that was the magnets. They had magnets on these things. And these are all lifelike. And you just type in lifelike and you'll see all the lifelike cars. I think I got about 20 different lifelike cars. And I have about 100, maybe 50 Aurora cars. Now, Tyco. They did a lot of NASCAR. Okay, a lot of NASCAR. I mean, Pennzoil. In the 90s, they did hundreds. Now, there are not a lot of Tyco race sets out anymore. Most of them have already been bought up. Okay, happened to both Aurora and Mattel. That's right. All these companies. The only difference between Auto World and I think this is the case for Auto World is that, and I'm trying to help them with getting more retailers into the market, but they have very low return rates on their race sets. Okay, now they do have their sets that are defective. You might have a hand throttle that's bad or something like that. But because they've kind of stuck to a simple model, they're not having a lot of returns. And the really big retailer for carrying all these sets is Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to be going to a show in November, the Great Smoky Mountain Gift Show, which I'm going to be showing all these slot car sets because I think if more dealers get into slot cars, I think it's just a plus. I think more stores that carry it, and you don't have to heavy in it, just carry 2 or 3 sets, but carry 5 or 6 of them, so you have a good quantity and some cars and all that, and you'll start seeing customers. Oh wow, this is cool. I want this, because that's I was listening to the news today, and they were talking about a lot of customers in Arizona, and that a lot of people they're staying home more. They're going out, but they're not going out as much. Like we went to dinner on after church on Sunday, and we went to Texas Roadhouse. Okay. And we shared a lot of the meals. We do that now. We share. Nobody gets their own meal. You share with somebody else, and the bill was still over $100. And I noticed this wherever I go. I notice this whatever store I go into. I always look at just what's going on. And normally a year ago, before the pandemic, even like last year, before. During 2020, at the end of 2020, when things were opening up, and then before the things started to implode, right after church, you couldn't get a seat at the Texas Roadhouse. It was like an hour wait. Now I went there. We went on Sunday. Half the place was empty. Not good. Anyway, so that's why a lot of these hobbies are really fun to get into. I mean, what's really cool about it, and I think that these semi racers. Now, somebody asked me. A lot of people ask, well, like for example, let me open this one up. For example, this one right here. A lot of people have asked, okay, well, do the semis actually run on the track? And I say, yeah, they all do. Okay. This is the Richard Petty. Okay, now Richard Petty, steel wool and slot cars don't mix. Yeah. If slot cars are not out there, people won't see them buy them. If the slot cars are not out there, yes, I totally, out of sight, out of mind. So this is basically one of our exclusives, and this is the semi with the trailer and the Richard Petty car. And some people say, well, does that semi actually work? And I say, yeah, it actually works. It's part of the let's see here. I think we have, let me go get these right here. We sell these. Ouch. Oh, my knee. Oh, my gosh, that hurt. Oh, my gosh. So these are the semis from the Frozen set. Let's open one of these because I want to show people, because a lot of people call, or they'll when we do the live streams, they'll say, well, do the semis work or just the cars? And I want to show people that that might watch this video later on, that the semis do work. All righty. So this is so this is the semi trailer from the Frozen the semi-frozen set. And this is the Peterbilt. I think it's the Peterbilt. Let me make sure here. Yeah, the Peterbilt. No, this is the GMC Astro. Okay, and so what these are is you basically have a extraction. This is an extraction chassis. Okay, and then you have the body, which you have the rear end tires, you know, because it's a dually here. And so this will pop off. And these are lights. These have lights on them. And I just wanted to look at this. This is basically a 440, a extraction chassis. And they just stuck this on the semi. Now, most of your semis are lighted that you get. Like, for example, this semi, now we sell these individually, or you can buy the set with all the white track with the, so that's what this is basically. You're getting a semi, you're basically getting two cars, you know, for I think they're $69, which is really $35 a piece. I mean, you're getting the semi and the trailer, because regularly one car is one car with a body on it. Well, here you get the car and the trailer for really the same price. You're getting the trailer for nothing. Okay, and so we have this one, and you also have this one right here. And then these are the semi, or the two semis that we have. And if you go on the website, these items are number CP 799 and 7899. I think 7899. Yeah, 7899. And these are the two semis. The K&K. And then you have these two. These came out about a month ago. And these are the Snake and Mongoose Peterbilt. And these are Peterbilts. And these are the same kind of semi. These can run on the track. And if you watch our live streams on Thursday nights, we usually do semi racing, which I think is the funnest of all the racing, because you're trying to keep these semis on. Nobody wants to go slow. They want to try to go really fast. And they're doing 90 in real scale miles. They're doing 90 miles on a curve on a semi with a trailer. Now, that doesn't work. So basically, so that's kind of the semis in a nutshell. Semis, get it? Semis in a nutshell. Okay, so then you have basically three type of cars with Auto World. And these are all the cars that have come out when Aurora had their cars. They started out in the early 60s with vibrators. These were the cars, you know, they were evolving. They didn't really know how to do it. They just were trying to do it. And then Auto World came out with Thunderjets in the mid 60s. I got into it in 69 and 70 is when I started buying Thunderjets in 1970 at the Hobby Center in Franklin Park Mall. After the Franklin Park Mall was finished, I think it was 1971 or something, I started buying Thunderjets and raced them. Then they came out with Magna Traction. And Magna Traction was the same type of chassis as Extraction. Matter of fact, I think I have, here we go. These are the original, these are original Extraction chassis, which we sell these, but they're just the chassis, nothing else. Okay. And these were the original chassis. These were AFX. This was the last days of AFX, Aurora Factory Experimental, made in Singapore. Then also during that same time, they came out with 4-gear, which 4-gear is basically, was really designed for cars like this, dragsters. Because what you have to do is you have to take off the front wheels and you extend it all the way up to the front. Like, for example, the, where is it? Well, a lot of your larger cars, the Batmobile is a 4-gear. Our semi-truck is a 4-gear. Or I mean, the 400 the F100 is also a 4-gear. And that's what these are. See, these are Extraction and these are 4-gear. Okay. 4 gears are a little faster because they just designed that way. They have double magnets on the bottom. Okay, so when Tyco made these cars, none of them had magnets. Okay. You just had to drive them as fast as you can without crashing. Well, people always wanted to push that envelope, and they kept wanting to go faster. And so when Auto World, when Tom Lowe decided to make these chassis, all 3 of them, he decided to make a little modification, and they called them Extraction or Ultra G. And so that's what they did. They took a standard chassis and they put magnets on the bottom. See that little magnet by the rear tire there? That's what helps keeps the car on the track, okay? And with 4-gear, you see the double magnet there? See those 2 round things? Those are the double magnets, which gives it even double strength because they're a faster car. And then Thunderjets have 1 magnet. You see that 1 magnet right there? And that's 1 magnet, okay, which giving it, that strength. And so when you're looking at all these cars online, and when you're deciding what cars you get, Auto World has the greatest selection. So you can build your collection based on whatever car you like. You want to get a bunch of semis? We've got them. You want to get our exclusives? You like Nomads? You like to collect Nomads? You've got them. Now, a lot of people, they collect them and they don't race them. Okay, that I don't like. Well, you have to have at least 1 in the package. And that's why. Now, with the people are talking about the race sets, okay? A lot of people buy these routed tracks. Now, that's great for the guy that wants that, okay? And UNM's got a beautiful track that's all routed and everything. And like Robert Fish was saying, is that once you've got that layout, you can never change it, okay? Now, not that we've changed the 4-lane layout, but, one of these days we might go with a whole new design. And I think I'm going to be closer to making a new design than I'm not. And sometimes I just like to putter around. And that's the nice thing about, okay, is puttering around. Lots of people like to putter around. And that's what's so fun about slot cars is you can just putter around with all the different slot cars that you can get. And this is just HO. I haven't even got into 1/32 scale. because you can putter around in that too. So these are the 3 different cars that Auto World makes. And Auto World, how they do it differently than Race Masters. Yes.
Steph from Broadway called. Do you know who she is? No idea? She seemed like she knew you.
From Broadway?
Yeah.
Broadway what?
She acted like she knew you.
Okay.
She said she'll call back at noon.
About what?
I thought you knew. I would have asked more questions. She acted like she knew you. Remember, everything's gonna be all right, right? That's the attitude you're taking.
That's all they know how to do is drink coffee.
What's that?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
I'm gonna go get on the video.
Yeah, I know. Just keep on watching and doing nothing. I'm more inclined to do that too, Kevin. I like to make new layouts every couple weeks. Variety is the spice of life.
It's funny that somebody's commenting that because somebody left a comment on YouTube with its dimensions, and they're like, "Is there any layout that will fit this dimensions?" It's rather small. And I said, "Well, there's not one set that fits it, but you buy a set that you like with the cars, and then you just take out the parts to make it fit, and then you add levels to make it more exciting."
Correct.
And that's the fun of it. You don't
Correct.
want just a set that you just set up, you know? Right? Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all. That's not what I'm saying. Oh, Caramia. So Race Masters, what they do is they just come out with one car. They don't come out with an assortment of cars. And I think that's the only downside to Race Master is, or that they need to, when they come out with a series of cars, they need to come out with it in 3 or 4 different format or liveries, colors, basically. I think the max for a livery is 6. Auto World sometimes they'll do 6, but they'll do 2 styles, so that's 12 cars. I think you should do the max of 3 styles, but up to 6 cars. So the total amount of cars for an assortment is 6. So you're at least getting 2 each in that assortment. But because this idea of having like, for example, the one assortment with the Datsun. See, the Datsun should have been the key car. You should have gotten 4 in the case to that. And the other, so there should have only been 2 other cars in the assortment. So you should have had 4 in that assortment so that you would have gotten more Datsuns. That's the only downside to Auto World that I would say versus AFX. They'll just print a car. And I've told Auto World that I think that's something they might want to reconsider is how they want to do their assortments. Okay. Now, so this video obviously, is really for people that are watching our live streams, but it's also people that are watching. When my kids were small, they used to fill the living room and the dining room with track. Yes, I used to do the same thing. Matter of fact, that's what people in Spain do because they don't have a lot of space, and they'll set up their racetrack and just race all over the house, or their flat, or their apartment, or wherever they live in Spain. Normally, they live in apartments, and small houses in Spain. Not a lot of Spaniards live like Americans in a sense of, the subdivisions. You have some subdivisions in Spain. It's more of, Spain is not like, and this is why I don't think these countries have developed as much as America. See, there's so much free land in America. Now, of course, a lot of that's being taken away, but the expansion of America is you could just go anywhere and build a house. And that's not the case in Europe. You just can't go and build a house anywhere you want in Europe, or go buy this property. A lot of it's government loaned, and it's almost like the king. I was listening to a guy talk about this about last night, about how in Europe right now they're having problems with electricity or with power, And a lot of people are wondering where they're going to heat there, and so they're going into the forest and take the wood, kindling and all that, and they're being arrested and being told, you can't take the wood. And it's almost like the in the 1600s, where all your peasants would go into the forests, and no, those are the king's forests, and you can't pillage and you can't hunt in the king's forest like that. You remember that one funny Bugs Bunny, where he's going to the king's carrots, but that's what's happening now in Europe. They're running, and they don't have enough. They don't have enough power. Oh, we gotta pray for them. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. So these cars right here, the Super International, is probably the best set for 4 lanes. Okay. Now the Auto World set, I had a guy call me yesterday, and he ended up buying the Victory 400. And that will be a big debate, is which one. We have the Super Internationals in stock right now, and the Super International is probably the best value. But now that the Auto World Victory 400, it has the wireless hand throttles, and people are wanting to buy the wireless hand throttles because it's basically free in the set. And let me get a Super International. I thought I had one in here. So the Super International it has a lot of curves. And as you can see, it's got a lot of track. But a lot of curves, got a lot of twisty here and straight track. Now, what's really nice about this is that you'll be able to combine this with the Victory 400 and use their 4-lane terminal track right here, and then you'll be able to wireless this. So some people are buying both of these sets. They're buying this set and the Victory 400. Now this is shipping right now. We have these in stock right now, the Super International. And that is a very good deal, the Super International set. So this is the semi-trucks, and we sell the semi-trucks separately. We opened up some sets so that people can buy these semis separately. Let me tape this back together. And that is SC0031, and SC0030 is the Peterbilt. This is the GMC, and then you have the Peterbilt, okay? And these are all from the semi-frozen set. Now, yesterday I was trying to go over all these cars, and I got distracted, so I'm going to finish up on the last 5 cars. I kind of went through them rushedly because my teeth... I can only do this for about 2 hours at max, because my teeth then, if I use Polygrip, it's better, but I didn't. So Yeah, I don't know when Race Masters is going to come out with wireless. I don't even think it's on their. Oh yeah, so I was talking to Craig at Auto World, and I asked him because initially when we did use Polygrip, I know I have Polygrip, I just didn't put it on this morning. Auto World told me that when we were there back in 2020 or 2021 last year, and they showed us the Victory 400 set, and I showed you how that they're going to have this app that you'll be able to use on your tablet like this, and it will count laps. Well, they're having problems. I guess the problem they're having is the different apps that they put it on. Okay, so if they put it on a phone, then there's a problem with the image, and so they have to be able to. I guess there's a coding where if they put it on a tablet, it's a larger screen, but a phone is a smaller screen. So they have to figure out how they're going to, they're going to have to work through the bugs, basically. That's what they're doing. And so that's the delay of the app, the lap counting app. Now, Race Masters was supposed to have their lap counting back in 2020, but now it's 2023 and it ain't coming out with yet. And which I find really kind of amazing, but that's just the way things are right now. I called the SIG company about dope and all that, and I said this in my video last night, that a lot of parts just aren't available right now. 2023 maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking 2024 actually. Now with Auto World, I think they're going to have the lap counter, the lap app, or the app for racing and everything. I think they're going to have it by April. That's my opinion. I can't guarantee, I can't tell you that it's going to happen, but I think that's when it's going to be available. Okay. Now, so the last 4 cars of our exclusives were the 2 Bel Airs, the red one with flames, and the red, just the stock version, like with the hood on it. And these all come in their own little box. People like these boxes. Because you can take them out and show them off. And I find this funny is that, I keep going back to this because I find this, ever since I watched that video on GM and all the chrome they were putting in their cars, and how that, because my question has always been, why all of a sudden did GM go from this Bel Air, the 55 Bel Air, okay, that's what this is, a 55 Bel Air, to this Bel Air? I'll show you. You know what I'm talking about. To this Bel Air. With the high wings, the different grill. It just, almost like it was like a metamorphosis. Okay. And then I told you guys about watching that video about how that the GM executive went by Chrysler and saw their Plymouth Fury and said, "Oh my gosh, we got to come out with something like that." And this is our other exclusive. These are our 2. I just think these are beautiful. And I don't know why. Oh wow, I didn't notice that. So they've got one of the cars, the American flag is up here, the Betsy Ross is here, and the other one is down here. I didn't notice that. I thought they were supposed to be on the bumper, or there is no bumper. It's amazing how small all these images are. I don't know how they do it. Those are sweet looking. You know, I've really never just taken these out of the case or out of the package. It's just look at them. You know, just kind of just spend some time in looking at them. It's amazing how cars back in the 50s really had a personality. They just check out it's almost like a personality, you know. Now these are Thunderjets Ultra G, and this is a 2-pack, so you're getting 2 cars, okay? And Newton's Garage and Smokey's number 3. That has white rims. Now we changed because all of our cars now say Goodyear. These were supposed to say, I don't know if they. I'm a 56 fan, like the grill better. They just had personality, these cars. I truly believe that if they came out with this car right now, or this car right now, okay, just exactly the way they're made. The only difference is all your, you know, if you want to put your special safety features in them, that you would not be able to keep these things in stock. And actually, I think they're going to be going back to these type of cars. And so this is the 2-pack. This is the second Bel Air Heat we came out with. Demolition Derby Action. And it comes in a nice little box set. So you can see these things and just look at them and admire them. Ultra G Plus. Ultra G. Thunderjet Ultra G. And then the other car, so this is the red one. The other one is the Red and Flames. I remember all my Matchboxes. When I used to buy my Matchboxes, they all came in these little boxes. And I just would always love to keep my boxes. I'd stack my boxes up and pretend like they were garages anyway, so this is the red with red or white with red flames. And these are Thunderjets. I mean, these are extraction. So that's an extraction chassis. They got blue windshield. The hood is blue too, but they just spray painted it white. You know, it's funny, all these were 2 doors too, but they were huge. You could get 8 people in these things. That's how big they were. There's a dealership, I guess, out in California that's got like 100 classic cars in their parking lot, and they're selling all these classic cars. That should tell somebody something. I think I got a cold coming. And that is SC3 or CP7903. And these are going, both of these are selling very fast. Now, my favorite station wagon of all time, which I would love to own one. My dad had one. I've got a video or a picture of us going camping, and Dad was pulling the camper with a 55, either a 55 or 56 Nomad. These are just great cars, okay? I mean, these literally were versatile. You could do anything with them. I mean, they could haul anything. And you know what's so funny about it? They're only 2 doors, but they were, you know, like a station wagon, but only 2 doors. They weren't a 4-door station wagon. Tinker Club 2022. And that's extraction chassis also. See, that can be, you could put headlights in this one. This has a headlight pad in there. Oh, cool. Now that's an awesome looking car. Yeah. You know why Robert Fish thinks this is awesome looking? Because he designed it. He's funny. He loves flames. So that is the Thunderjet. Or I'm sorry, this is a Thunderjet. This is a Extraction. Now the next car is very popular. The reason I did this car was that it was in a set that Auto World had, which didn't sell very well, which I found funny. And so I said to him, hey, can we do this car again? Just because I love the Golf. I love the Golf logo. I've always been a fan of Golf. And I can tell you the story behind Golf and Holiday Inn. It's a great story. But this is just a beautiful car. It has a lot of red and blue. The tires are beautiful. There's almost like 3 colors in the tires. You have silver, orange, and black. Just a beautiful looking car. Everything about this car says, I want to buy it. You know what I'm saying? And this is Extraction also. This could be an I-wheel if you wanted to. But it is an Extraction too. And this is CP 7912. 7912. So if you go on our website, you can see this and you can drool over this. You know what? Maybe that's a good idea. We could do a sale going on. Buy one car and get the other car I got to go over that with Ryan. Free. Get one free. And then I'd lose money. Half price. Buy one, get one at half price. That's not a bad idea. Now, this car right here is, I think, my favorite. Just because I love the look. I love the look of this car. And back in 2020, and I had cases of these things, and I can't believe I don't have any of these left. But this was a beautiful car. I have one car left of this car from Fly, and this is the Turgal 4 GT. And I said to Auto World, we got to do this as a tune-up kit. Shoot, no, I may have to buy those. Can I trade you some silver bars for? Yes, I'll take silver. If you have silver, I love silver. So if you have silver bars, just give me the value of your silver bar and we'll trade. Not now, I may. Okie dokie. So this right here is my favorite car. And again, it's a kit. And this is really where the hobby for me became personal when I was a kid. I mean, I was 12 years old, 10 years old. Is that I used to just take these cars apart and rebuild them. I mean, think about it. So I would get about $20 in 1971 dollars, which was a lot of money, actually. And I would go to the hobby store, and, you could buy parts for like 15 cents, 20 cents, $1. I could buy the brushes, all that kind of stuff. Maple syrup. Yep, maple syrup. I'll trade for maple syrup. I will call you when I'm ready. Okay, Kevin. Kevin Carroll. All right. We need 19 thumbs up for me to be happy. And so this is the last car, and this is CP7967. This is just a beautiful kit. I just love this. It's got the American flag on the back. That's cool. And that is the last of all the exclusives that we've come out so far. I've covered all the exclusives. And we are coming up to an hour, and I'm going to shift locations for about, we're going to sit over on the, we're going to go over to the AFX aisle real quick. So let me get up. Well, let's just kind of look right here. Yeah, it's $160,000. I know these prices are ridiculous. $160,000. I was watching a video of a guy showing off an apartment in New York City. It's a one-bedroom apartment. It's renting for $7,000 a month. So you would have to make $84,000 or more. So you have to make at least $200,000 to afford that apartment. Doesn't make any sense. All right. Let's spend some time right here. This is a fun little spot. Ouch! Oh, my leg. And this is the rocket section. And you basically we have all the engines. A's are the smallest, and they're really for just kind of your entry-level rockets. Like, for example, these right here. These are basically basic entry-level. And these rockets go about 100 feet in the air, maybe 200 feet in the air, and then they come down. And that's what you need an A rocket for. They're just basic fun, you know. They're snapped together. You basically glue them with crazy glue, and you get 3 rockets. Boom. Get a packet of rockets. Boom. Now, I always tell people to spend the money and buy yourself a 20 pack of rockets. You get 24 launches, and this is the best way to do it like this, because you'll have them for you. They never, I mean, you can keep these for years and they will still launch. And I have the best, the B64 and the A83s are the best 2 engines. And then we got in some D rockets at C and D. These are the D rockets. Compare these to the A rockets. Look at the difference. And then this rocket we just got in here, Big Daddy. And this is basically, this takes a D engine, an E, D, and C engine. But look at how big it is. Big Daddy. Now, these, we have 2 different rocket launch sets. And this is what I recommend people to get. This is what I recommend people get. Is your basic rocket kits. The Tandem X, you basically get 2 rockets plus your launch pad and everything. And it's a complete kit. The only thing you need to do is to buy rocket engines. And it tells you which ones you need. I always tell people buy the B64s or the A83s, which are right here. Or A83s right here. Buy a box of these and a box of that, and boom, you have your rocket launching. And then we have Big Bertha. We have my favorite, which is the Tandem, or the Orbital Transport. This is what I want to build next. Now, this is an expert model kit. I don't know, can I open this? No, it's taped. Okay, I can't open it. And then we have the Ares rocket. And then we have the deluxe pad. Now this is a fun rocket, and this launches the A83s. You only need A83s with this one, or the A10 threes. And this one, you just, I launched this that a couple weeks ago when we launched. This is a fun rocket to launch. It's kind of like a shuttle. And that's the model rocket section of all the model rockets that we have. This is a great winter hobby. We also have the Saturn V. Much smaller than it used to be. They used to have a huge rocket. I built a couple of them. Mammoth things. 2 stages too. And we have everything you need. Oh, this was really cool. The Mini Comanche. This is a 3-stage rocket. So this one's going to go off, then this one's going to go off, and then this one's going to off. You need 3 stages on this. All right, 2 or 3 stages. Boost stage, A10, upper stage, A10 3T, single stage, see what happens is each rocket engine ignites, and then this then goes even further, and then this one goes even further. Oh, that's cool. That's a tall one too, 900 feet. Wow. Skill level 2. And then the one I showed you yesterday, this was my favorite. This reminds me of a lot of the sci-fi movies from the 60s. The Antar. Harry Stein. Model rocketry. Huh. This was the days in the 50s. Model rocketry, boy. Model rocketry was everywhere in the 50s. Everywhere. All right, let's finish up. Let's finish up over here. Let's show you some. Let's see here. Let's do some Carrera here. Hold on a second. I want to get tissue. Okay. Boy. All right, so we let's get some let's open up a Carrera car. Let me show you people the Carrera cars. Let me go get a screwdriver because I want to open up a Carrera car. Hold on a second. Now, Carrera has been around for a while, but it wasn't in the United States. It really came back in a big way in the same time I started selling Skillelectric back in the late 90s. A lot of these companies had a real big resurgence in the 1990s, late 1990s, early 2000s. And a lot of it, and I hate to take credit for, a lot of it's because of me. You know, people can disagree, but there was only one guy. There was only one man that was driving around the country visiting hobby stores back in 1997, 98, and 99. There was only one person. Do you know who that person was? If somebody can guess who that person was, you get a free kuda. Who could guess who that guy was that was driving? You! That's right! It was me! And I was going into every hobby store in this country back in 1997, 98, 99. And I was visiting every hobby store, and I was showing them Scale Electric. I was saying, you need to carry this. And a lot of them were. Now, the only thing about Carrera cars, which I'm going to emphasize is, and everybody has done this, okay? Everybody. They've kept pushing the envelope. Okay, what was that comment? I forgot you were on and I never came back. Ha 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 ha. So I want to see if this car, yeah, it does. Okay, good. I'm going to show you the evolution of cars over in the last 20 years, really. I lost my box cutter. I think I left it at home. All right, so back in when these cars came out, this was by Tyco Industries in 1993 by Matchbox. These were SCX cars back in 1990, or in, what did I say, 1993? Yeah, 93. Gosh, I still had Young's Newsstand then. Holy cow. And I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the package. This was an SCX car under the license of Tyco Industries, Matchbox, in Europe. Licensing were completely different, okay? And this was the bottom of a car back then, okay? Now that's 93. This is basically 1970s. See how the body is very basic? And then this was Scale Electric in 1997 under the Irwin Toy Days. Okay? Very simple body. Well, here's Carrera, okay, and their bodies, okay. They got a bitchy motor in them. All of this stuff right here, this forward and reverse button, that adds money to the car. That little switch there, all this little circuitry. all the electronics. That adds to the value of the car, the cost of making it. And I'm not saying that's not worth it, but people always say, well, why are cars so expensive? Well, here's why they're so expensive. Look at the detail. Look at the gas can. Okay. Every time they stempel print all this stuff. But people like that. Okay. And so, Robert Fish likes to complain about prices. Well, that's because people want all these little extras. Uh-oh. I know who that is. That is, what's his name? I bet you it is. Yep, I knew it. I knew it. That's my buddy with the train set. Oh, I dropped the screw. Why can I not drop something? He's back. Robert, the BMW man. We'll ignore him. Maybe he'll go away. Uh-oh, here he comes. He's got his hat on. I told him he couldn't come here unless he wore his hat.
Cover.
Or cover.
Petty officer, it is a cover.
Yeah, petty officer first class there. Petty officer third class.
Today I'm Captain Brown.
Oh, you're Captain Brown? USS Louisville, SS 724. What is this? Oh my gosh. Made from the hull of the SS 724, 1986 to 2021.
Los Angeles class fast attack boat.
They scrapped it already?
Yeah, it's been scrapped.
It was the USS Louisville?
Yep.
And it only
The sail and the conning tower are in Louisville, Kentucky.
No, what I'm saying is it only served from 86 to 2000.
That's it. Probably figure it was worn out.
Well, you know what people don't understand is you just can't keep going to test depth and back, and that thing's just going to keep on doing that forever. One of these days it's going to implode.
Yeah.
What's this?
Paint.
Oh gosh.
No, it's just a suggestion. You look at it at your own leisure.
Try micro mark.
Floquil used to be the standard. It was the best you could get for mile railroad, for miling, period.
Micro mark. All right, I'll look into this.
I mean, if you're going to build models.
So that is the hull of the USS Louisville. Made from the hull of the SSN 624 from 1986. Gosh, that's not 86, 96. 40 years.
Get a picture of this.
But you weren't on the Louisville, were you?
No, but the Captain Brown gave that to me.
The last captain? The last
commanding officer.
Gave this to you too?
Yep.
Best of the breed.
You notice the gold dolphins?
Yes.
He asked me, he said, I hope you're not offended by my giving you this cap.
Yeah, I didn't get gold. Let's see if you
have to be an ensign or above.
Yeah, that's right. I became a shellback.
Good for you.
That
I never did.
That was a bad.
They put lipstick on you.
Oh man, they ran us through this tube of garbage, and I didn't want to do it. And I had a chief come up to me. I guess maybe because of religious things. He goes, and he was religious. I mean, he was a Christian too, and he said, Bryan, don't worry about it. It's not that. We don't, do, it's a hazing, but it's not. And because I really didn't want to do it, I was going to protest, but I knew that if I did not do this, I was going to be exercised, or what do you say? What's the word?
Shunned.
I would have been shunned, and I would have never. And there were people that did it, and you just could not. There's certain things you just could not do, and I knew that if I didn't do this, I was just going to be, the royal, because I was already the royal jerk because I was on board, and the captain wouldn't allow, because video was just coming out, and he wouldn't allow porno movies because of me, because I was a Christian, and I was kind of a, and they were always coming up to me. The crew was always coming up to me and saying, "Hey, why can't we?" I go, "Listen, guys, when I leave in about 2 months, you can do whatever you want." So I was already kind of, I would go to my bunk and they had plastered.
You were more or less a pariah.
I was. They had plastered video pictures all over my bunk, and I shrug it off and just, okay, great guys. But who would they always come to me when they wanted to have a nice prayer talk, or they were having problems and they wanted to pray or something?
Yeah.
Who did they come to? They'd come to me without anybody knowing it. They didn't want anybody to know. They were coming and asking me, "Hey, Brian, would you?"
Pastor Bryan.
Yeah, that's right. And I was no saint. I mean, I had my faults, but it's just funny. But yeah, so we did the shellback, and they had this big tube of garbage that we had to slide through, and it was sick. But I've got the sheet. I've got the shellback, golden shellback sheet that Brian Young survived the.
Lieutenant Underwood got his dolphins, and he was an enlisted man, so he had sober dolphins. When he qualified as an officer and he got his dolphins, and the crew picked him up and threw him overboard.
Oh,
but they didn't throw him hard enough, and he landed on the hull and broke his arm.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Did any of them get in trouble?
No.
No, nobody ever did.
Now my son qualified on the Mariano G. Vallejo. And he said a buddy has qualified, and they stripped him and they shaved his testicles.
Shaved.
I mean, submariners, we did crazy things.
Yes, we did.
We got away with stuff that we never got away with in the surface fleet.
Oh, no, and it was really funny. So, I always like to try to help people. And so we pulled into a Portsmouth in England, and we had like a week or 2 or 3 days that we could just do whatever we wanted. And so I kind of would go around town, and I went to this one place to a movie, and I saw some kids. I said, "Hey guys, you want to go on board a nuclear submarine?" I was able to get these kids on board a nuclear submarine. And I think about it now and go, how did I get that? How did I get these kids to go on board a nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine? And they're just perfect strangers.
Yeah.
And I got it. Now, they couldn't go into the control. They were going into law, at least come on board and see what was, going on. We had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It's a mess. I go, "Have you guys ever had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?" And these kids were like 9 or 10, and they go, "No, we've never had a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Here, we're gonna have one now."
I used to we were in the Far East, and sometimes a British sub would be. I remember the HMS Ambush was tied up alongside of us, and we were trading. I traded a foul weather jacket for one of their wool sweaters.
Wool sweaters.
The white wool that they
you were
wore.
on a fast attack, or a diesel, right?
Right.
Well, no, that was the big joke in the Navy, was that whenever an American submarine or American ship would pull into a port, that it would generate, 100,000, maybe 200,000 in revenue. But if a Russian submarine or ship would ever pull into a port, it would just be a barter because they had no money.
Yeah.
But us Americans, if you have a carrier pulling into a port,
all the GIs aboard with money burning holes in their pockets.
You got $100,000, $200 million increase in the economy. Yeah, that was funny. We the funnest time was we we finished our patrol because we would normally patrol either in the North Atlantic or in the South Atlantic around Africa.
Mhm.
Okay, it's all declassified. I mean, they're not going to arrest me. If they do, go ahead, put me on a sub. I don't care. So after
I'll go with you.
yeah, after the patrol, we went to Barbados, West Indies. Oh man, what a place! And they wouldn't let us dock because we were a nuclear submarine, so we had to dock outside, just right on the beach, or off the coast there. And then they had Liberty boats that would come
So
in.
you anchored.
Yeah, we had to anchor, and so we were swimming off the bow of the submarine. It was so funny because the bow would there was like a sonar dome right at the front of the sub, and that would go underwater, and everybody would grab a hold of it, and then all of a sudden that sub would come out of the water, and then you're like 25 feet, and you just slide along the side of the sub right into the water. It was so much fun.
It was a slip and slide.
Oh, it was a slip and slide. And then their sharks came by, and they were starting to shoot the sharks, and then all of a sudden dolphins came by, and the sharks all went away. And then the dolphins,
The dolphins will kill the sharks.
Oh yeah, and then that's what it was.
You know how they do it? Flip them on their back.
Oh really? I didn't know
Flip
that.
a shark on their back, and they're immobile.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. They'll suffocate because
That's
they can't
amazing.
breathe.
But those were the fun days.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this by.
Well, no, thanks a lot. And I'll look into these tomorrow. I'll call some of these
Yeah.
companies.
Oh, I heard back from the guy.
The gal.
Right now, he's going to contact the gal. He's coming by tomorrow to go take. We're going to lunch. I'll talk to him further about it. He said he'll approach the widow maybe today or tomorrow morning, and we'll see where we stand. But I haven't seen the layout yet, and I don't know how big it is. I'm assuming that because he was a serious model railroader, and the last time I talked to him, he was building a mine, and he was looking for covered hoppers, cement hoppers.
Oh really?
Yeah, to build a spur line.
Right.
So if he's building a spur line,
It's got to be pretty big.
it's got to be pretty big.
Huh, interesting. Well, no, I can't wait to work on a layout. That would be awesome. Add another.
I will give you some tasks.
Oh no.
Oh yes. I'll hand you some models and you build them.
All right.
Building skills.
Yes. Once I figure out how to do it, I can build anything. I mean, I built.
I'll be glad to show you techniques I've learned over the years.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear it. I mean, it's. Oh, and I called with dope, and they're out of the clear dope. Now they can get the gray dope. I can get gray dope, but right now they're out of this one ingredient, and it's nationwide. They can't get this one ingredient to mix to make the clear dope.
Now this is
SIG.
I know, but SIG has two clear dopes.
They're out of all the clear dopes.
They have nitrate dope and cellulose acetate dope.
All the dopes,
which is butyrate.
Right. All of it's clear is gone.
Okay.
But I can get the gray dope.
I have a quart of clear nitrate.
But it's just colored. It's just gray. I mean, you're going to paint it anyways. So why does it care that it's clear or gray?
Well, I use it also on model airplanes.
Yeah, but you're going to pay that. You're going to.
Oh no, I use Japanese tissue and I just leave it.
Oh, okay.
So I use clears. I use it
both
as a dope and as a cement.
I buy. This guy says I buy all my dope from Bryan. I don't have. Well, I have dope. They're saying. You know what you're saying.
Is somebody actually live on there?
I have 15 people live.
Oh wow. Oh, I should be careful then.
Don't worry about it.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it. This is my buddy Robert, right?
Richard,
that's right. I thought it was Richard.
Well,
right.
so they used to call me Robert.
You got your Louisville hat on. He was on Fast Attacks Diesels.
That's correct.
And that was in the 60s and the 60s, 60s, yeah. Yeah, that would have been the 60s, yeah.
I came this close from enlisting in the German Navy just so I could be on one of their they had a submarine that ran off of hydrogen peroxide.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how did you get on to do that?
Well, I was going to enlist, and I thought, well, I jeopardized my U.S. citizenship by doing that, so I didn't. I thought about it hard, and
you thought it'd be funner to be in the Navy.
Well, I miss being in the U.S. Navy, and I thought, well, I mean, I spoke German, so why not enlist? And I also tried getting on a coastal freighter.
Oh, merchant marine?
Yeah.
But they took you on subs?
U.S. Navy did, yeah, not the German Navy.
Not the Germans.
German submariners, Unterseebooter.
Unterseeboarders?
When they greet their captain.
Yeah.
All right, and as a unit, they lock arms together, and they swing their left leg and go like this, Unten, meaning dive.
Dive.
But they only say it once.
Dive?
Yep, and that's how they greet their captain in the morning at morning quarters. 0800.
Dive.
8 Uhr pünktlich.
Well, okay. Well, let me look into that, and I'll get back with you, okay?
Okay. Hey, I want to take these.
Nope, you got to leave them.
I do?
Yep. I got to take them out of the system first.
Okay.
Put them up by my desk.
Good idea.
How's that?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the Dodge Charger 500 by Fly. And I just showed you how the cars, and you could flip a switch and go this way or this way. And you could digitize all these cars. Uh-oh. Why do I always drop something? Oh, I think I'm getting old. Oh my gosh.
You know, getting old is not really so bad.
Yeah.
All except for the getting old part.
Yeah, they're getting old. Yeah. Oh. So did you tell your wife you're going to build a layout in her kitchen?
Yeah, she didn't like it.
She didn't like it. And that is the Fly car. Now, I can't sell what I don't have, okay? You know what I'm saying? He just dropped all my cars. Unbelievable.
Broke it, too.
He broke it. And then we've got Carrera. Here's a nice car. This is one that I've always liked. I just like the way it's a Ford Capri. And that's item number 2006 27646. And then Porsches, they've always been a big Porsche fan. Carrera's always done a lot of Porsches. And this is a Porsche 911, which is probably the most popular. I would say the Porsche 911 is the most popular stock car ever made. They've made so many of them, like this one. You know, so here's a Porsche. There's an old Porsche from 1996. What are you doing?
Putting these on your.
How many? Oh, come on. What am I going to do here?
Sign these off.
I can't sell what I don't have.
I thought we were building a layout.
We are.
This is part of the layout.
All righty. Okay. Let's do it. All right. So this is another Porsche 911. You drop something.
Broke it.
And this is another Porsche. Here's another Porsche. Now this is a 935. This is a 911, and this is a 935. Carrera does a lot of Porsches, and they do a lot of Corvette or a lot of Mustangs too. You know, you can only say so much about their cars. Like, you know, there are people out there that, you know, quote cars or give a description of the car, and oh, look at this. The paint job is really cool and all that, and they go into all the little details, every little thing on these cars. Okay, that's fine. Okay, every one of those little things, everybody says, well, why are they so expensive? Robert Fitz, do you remember when you used to read the comments? Oh my gosh. You know what, Robert? There was somebody here I was talking to. Why do you do that to me, Brian? Do you remember when you were talking about this stocking C4 and you had some guys that supposedly had all kinds of it? Thanks for your service, Brian and Richard. From the Navy brat, Dad was in the USN. Thank you for your service. So I'm just not going to talk, and I'm just going to read all the comments because Robert's not happy unless I read all the comments. Okay, so I'm going to start from the very beginning, from when I first got online. No, I'm not going to do that. That's ridiculous. I'm going to read them backwards. Brian, do you remember when you used to read comments? Unbelievable. Thank you for your service, Brian. Thank you for your service. Hi, Richard. Thanks for your service. Nice to meet you, sir. It will never be the same again, Robert. I buy all my dope from Bryan. A couple of I got a couple goes into Tyco Track. When I was a kid, I had I had the freedom in the world. My kids were never that lucky. O-gauge trains. Yes, that's the only thing I don't have right now is O-gauge trains. They've just gotten so expensive, it's almost impossible to stock them. Wonder if you have any secret stories about UFOs. It was very nice. Okay, well, I do have one story. Not UFO stories, but so we were coming out of Holy Loch, Scotland to go on patrol. And we would have to travel so far on the surface. And it got dark, and so I went up to the I remember this now. Oh my gosh, they really got me. Okay, so the conning tower is out of the water. Okay. Trying to all right, so on a boomer submarine, you had a conning tower, and then you had the sails, and then you had the periscopes, and then you had guys standing right here. This is where the watch would be, you know, if you're on the surface. Well, sometimes the submarine would go into the water like this, and sometimes waves would come over that. Well, yeah, baby. Well, so the guys that are seasoned knows that when the boat does certain things that there's going to be a reaction. Well, I was a novice. This was my first watch outside, and so I didn't really know. And so they wanted me to go all the way up front and watch for things, watch for dolphins, or just keep an eye out. Well, they were setting me up for a wave because they would then drop down. They were jerks. And all of a sudden, a huge wave came crashing down on top of me. I said, boy, I was set up one night. I go, yep, you were set up. And so I got splashed. So anyways, at night, the phosphorus, or how do you say that word? Phosphorus? I want to say it. I got it on the tip of my tongue. Phosphorus would shine off the bow of the boat as we were going through the water. And you would look up phosphorus, whatever. Yeah, that's right, Robert Fish. Thanks. See, I read your message. And you could look up at night and you could see stars because there was no light other than the sky. And the skies were just lit up. And you would see meteors go shoo, shoo. It was beautiful. Those were the days. And then we'd get to patrol area. And then we'd go underwater. And then we'd go on patrol. We would radio silence. And we would come up for, I think every week, we would come up and get radio messages. But, American had about 20, 30 submarines. Here's the thing that I realized when I was on submarines, okay? And this is the thing that people had to understand, okay? Which I think once you understood this, then you have, so on top of a, so we had 16 missile tubes. And on each missile, these are the nuclear bombs right here. And on each rocket, I think that there were 6 or 8 of these missiles on each rocket. Okay. So technically, this is what's so funny. Technically, one nuclear submarine, just one, could literally put the entire Russia, Europe, the entire world into the Stone Age. Just one nuclear submarine. That's how many missiles it had. Okay? Because each one of these rockets would launch in the air, and then all of these little things would shoot to 8 different locations. So 8 times 16, what's that number? I don't have my calculator. 8 times 16. What's 8 times 16? That's how many nuclear bombs that were 10 times the size of Hiroshima. Well, that's one submarine. We had 50 of them. And then we came out with the Trident class, which were 128 missiles. I mean, if you want to say overkill, you can say overkill, okay? And so one submarine could just annihilate the entire world. That's just one submarine. If people just understood that, I mean, this is it right here, guys. That's the missile right there, okay? One submarine. We had 50 of them. Actually, more than 50. Then we had the Tridents and the Polaris. As the Tridents came out, they retired the Polaris. Poseidon, no, it was the Poseidon and then Polaris. That's right, Polaris and then Poseidon. Polaris was the first, then the Poseidon, then Tridents. And the Trident was the largest submarine, American submarine. It was huge. I wish I could have been on it, but that never happened. I got out of the Navy. You know, that's history. But it is interesting to look go back to. So let's kind of look. Let's kind of end up right here in the model section. Okay. All right, we're going to end up right here in the model section. So we have all the models. We just got in some new models. We got in this model here, a 1966 Chevy Chevelle SS, $29.99, a very good price. We just got these in. We also got in the Roach Coach, the Raiders Roach Coach. That is sweet. We also got in Dragster, the Groove Boss Super Modified by AMT. We have to have the Chevy Impala. These are beautiful kits. Putting these together, just beautiful. Now down here, let me find it. Right here. So Jaime Rickover, which was the father of the nuclear-powered submarine, he basically created the greatest nuclear submarine force the world had ever seen. Tell me more about the picture, Kevin. Wow. What picture? Tell us more. What are we talking about, Kevin? We're talking about me. I took pictures of the portal in the night sky at the object that came out of it. What portal? I saw a meteor yesterday morning split in two. Very cool. Yes. The Nautilus was the first nuclear-powered submarine, kind of a test. And that is the Nautilus. It's basically at Groton, Connecticut. You can go inside and tour it, and it's all, decommissioned. The nuclear reactor is all taken out. But this submarine and this submarine, the Gato fleet, this was basically World War II submarine. These mostly are kind of similar in design, okay? Because the nuclear-powered submarine, the ballistic missile submarine, actually, they had a model. Naval had this really cool cutaway version of the submarine that I was on. It was the, I wasn't the Andrew Jackson. I think it was Ben Franklin. But you'd show you the submarine and all the different compartments. And it was pretty cool. It was a cutaway version. And that was a good kit. But they're completely different because this submarine from the World War II days, okay, these things were tiny. And they were single, the modern submarine were so big. It's really big. I mean, they were just big. You had a lot of space, especially the Trident. The Trident submarine, they basically designed it where you could lower pallets into it, and then the hull would shut, and so they could load up the ship at port. Because when we had to load up all of our food, we had to do it one item at a time, and we'd get all the crew starting from the shore all the way to the boat, down the ladder, all the way to the mess cook, and you would haul one item at a time. We'd hand a can of peas, and then we'd just keep handing food, and then the cooks would start putting it all away because everything had a place to it. Now, this is another new model kit that we got in. It's called the 2SF Hunter Killer 6 rockets, clear parts. This is a really cool kit here by Atlas Atlantis models. And we're going to be getting more of Atlantis models too. And And we also have the series, the most popular bomber in World War II, which is the B-24 Liberator. That's a cool bomber. Not super detail, but for $21.99, that's a great price. Very affordable. And check out all of our Atlantis models, okay? Because we're going to be getting more Atlantis models. And we're going to be getting more poly cars and slotted cars, too. Yes? Let's see. What time is it? Oh, and we also got this thing. Race car hauler. There goes our trucker guy. Of course, I have a couple of these left. This has got a crush bag, but this is a Model T. 1923 Model T. That's what my grandfather Ralph used to work on. These cars. You know what? I'm gonna look at this. I still have a couple of these left. I just want to see what this looks like. Do you use Facebook? Robert, are you having a separate conversation with people? Wow, it's molded in white. See, now I would paint this in black, all black. Look at this thing. Doesn't have real tires. Oh yeah, it has real tires. Boy, those are thin. See, now I would spray paint this whole thing black just to get it built. I'd paint the other items brown and the entire car. You know, I'm going to build this. Yeah, I'm going to build this. Show you how to do something here. Here's another water. I tell you, these guys leave water all over the place here. I'm getting tired of it. Well, post the pictures on Fan Club. All right, let's see what's going on here. I shared the pictures of it on my timeline. Fish, go on your message and respond to yes. I managed to get a couple of those pictures of it. Did Atlantis? Yes, Atlantis took over Mobius. And the object, what's there emerged from the? I'm getting the Titanic. I built the Titanic when this is back in 1971 when testers came out with their lemon glue, non-sniffable. I glued one with that, and then it fell apart the next day. Okay, so a standard submarine is almost the length of a football field. A Polaris and a Poseidon were the length of a football field, and the Tridents were the length of a football field. I'm trying to think how long. Yeah, because only It's only 100 yards, right? 100 times 300 feet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they're pretty close. Holy cow, Batman. What are these? Why is Robert having all these sub conversations? He should only be focused with me. So this water's just laying here. I'm going to drink it. Probably going to kill me. We're going to be signing off exactly 120 minutes. So I'm going to give you guys 5 more minutes. And I'm going to go back to work. LOL, Brian. Holy cow, Batman. Okay, Robert. Okay. I remember the old model glue. It would give you a buzz back in the day. That's right, baby. Well, you stop and think about it. And that lemon glue never worked. It would always, the models would fall apart. So Ryan and I, tonight around 8 o'clock, we're going to go put together the digital lap counting system. But he doesn't want to do it. Oh, it was terrible. It never worked. Number one, I'm just a blabbermouth, Brian. Would that be tonight? Yes, that would be tonight there, Adam. So I'm sure you and your wife can do something and maybe go out to dinner or something. But so that's basically down the aisle with Bryan. So that's going to be the new title of this. It's going to be Down the Aisle with Bryan. Okay, down the aisle with Bryan. Down the aisle with Bryan. And, we're just going to 2 lives in 1 day. Woot, woot. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. She's at Bible study, so I will watch if she's going to be live. So you should go to Bible study with her, Adam. Oh, boy. Let's see. 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. It's 12 o'clock. Well, you should go once and just see. Bryan has a point, Adam. You should go just once and say, "Can I come?" You should at least ask her, Adam. "Hey, dear, can I come with you?" And see what she says. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose my mind. No, I'm not allowed. No, I'm not allowed. That's funny. Well, we had 22 thumbs up today. Hopefully, this will spur and more people will start to watch my boring show. I don't know. I'm trying. Ha ha ha! I'm not allowed. That's funny. Well, thank you guys. Don't forget to share this with other people. And I like your lives, Bryan. I know, Kevin. I just need about 100 more people like you watching the live stream. I don't have any Titanic models right now. I did order some, but they were out of stock. I do have some Titanic puzzle kits we're going to be getting in. Give me a couple weeks. I'll get some here soon. Okay. Of course, if I buy anything else, my Ryan's going to yell at me. We need to sell more. That's the problem. Oh, I'm not feeling good. Oh my gosh. They're supposed to get my wood heater done. All right, let me get some, Adam. I'm identifying as a woman. Can I get in a woman bathroom? It should get you at a woman's Bible study. If identifying as a woman can get you into a bathroom, should get you into a. That's right. Okay, guys, it is 2 hours, 120 minutes. We want to thank everybody for watching our live stream today. Check out our YouTube site for new videos that might be coming later tonight. I got to double check with Ryan. I have a city council meeting tonight from 7 to 8. And so we would do the video from 8 to whatever. So everybody have a great day. God bless. And we'll see you on the other side. I don't know what the other side means. I don't know where would be on the other side, but we'll see you on the other side, okay? And we want to thank the 17 people that were watching. 23 thumbs up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification. 13 more Fridays than Christmas, I know. Thank you, Bryan, for another great live. Stay classy. Bye-bye.